What's going on, YouTube? Bryce with Harbor Golf Sim back here. This is going to be stage 2 of the driver test, testing the new equipment GT2 versus all of my old favorites. So in the first video, we did the Callaway Big Bertha Alpha 816. I had that in about 2015 to 2017. Then I went through a bunch of drivers, got a sim for a while, had that for a couple years. The sim's what we're testing out today. This thing was really cool when it came out. I remember it would drop bombs, but when you weren't hitting it good, it would really kill you. So I've gotten a little better since then. Who knows if I'll hit it better today. We're gonna test it out here, 20 shots each, same thing as last time on the range. If we hit fairways, we're gonna track how many out of 20 we hit. All the other numbers will be recorded on the GS Pro or on the Pro TVX software, and then we'll chart it at the end and go through it just like last time. The goal of this test is to find out if new equipment is worth spending the money on, or if in this case, 5-year-old equipment is just as good and you can get it for a third of the price, really. So yeah, excited to jump into this again. Just so you know, today, when I did last week's test, we put them both on the same setting, like 8 and 1/4 loft. But TaylorMade's loft sleeves are a little weird. I don't think they quite line up with Titleist as far as how much they add and drop per setting. So both of these we're just going to play on the standard 9-degree setting so we can get as comparable numbers as possible. So yeah, let's get to it. I don't think there's really much else to say. Here we go. All right, first up we got the modern day, the GT2 2025 driver. Gonna do 20 shots. Let me clear out my practice shots, which were all absolutely terrible. So hopefully I hit it a little better than I hit those. My back is a little sore today. Yep, there I go, making excuses already. Pretty good one. Is it gonna hit the fairway? I'm counting that. Can't tell exactly, but it's close enough. That one's roasted. It's gonna miss the fairway left though. If the sim doesn't outperform this today, I'll be shocked with how stiff I still feel. Definitely think it's an advantage to go second. Little spinny one, yeah. Left the weight on my back foot, but got a fairway. We'll take that every day. Same ball as last time. TP5X. That was a good one. A little high on the face. 167 ball. Might have been the smallest amount of a drop kick, but I didn't really feel it. That was low on the face. That's going to be a spinning one. Oh yeah, that ball's going nowhere. But we hit a fairway. That's where I love the forgiveness of the GT2 right there. Still terrible strike, way low. Carried 260. Rolled out to 271. At least on GS Pro. The numbers on the software might be slightly different. was all right. Nothing special. Might stay in the fairway. Yeah. Yeah, the body doesn't feel like it's moving that great today. Something's definitely going on with the back. I don't know if 40 shots of driver is a good idea, but we're going to do it here. We're going to do it anyway. Another spinny one. Am I adding a bunch of loft or something? I don't know. Who knows? Too low on the face again. Ball speed was 171 though. Just way too much spin. That's kind of the give or take with these forgiving models. You fight spin a little bit with higher swing speeds, but it saves a lot of shots from going way left or way right for me. That was a better strike, a little higher in the head. Still 2800 spin though. But I'll take that, you know, 279.5 carry. Sure, the spin's a little high, but we're controlling it. Another one. We got the high spins today. I think it might be, now that I'm thinking about it, I have it lofted up 1 degree. I really like the 8 degree setting better in this. Keeps the spin down a lot better. $3,900, jeez. That one's missing the fairway. Why is it spinning so much? 1 degree aloft really make that much difference? Drop kick that one. Tried to hit it a little more on the up. That last one before that was 1.3 down. So that one was 6.8 up. So somewhere in between there probably helped take some spin off without hitting the ground first, ideally. That was low on the face. See, that was a little better. Spin's still at 3,300 though. But that's just strike location. I hit up on that. Ooh, up on it 10. That's too much. No wonder we hit the bottom of the face. I want to be about 3 to 4 up on it is ideal. Oh boy. All right, I'm done thinking about that. That is just messing me up. How many is that? 13. That's not the tee I want. All right, let's just go back to hitting it normal, accept our high spin. Better. 2,900 spin. Stay in the fairway. All right, that's a good one. Pretty good. Was that a little toey? Just a tiny bit. It's forgiving though. That was toey, so that'll be less spin. 1,900. But still, way out on the toe, high on the face. Missed the center of the fairway by 15 yards. You cannot beat that. If I do that with the sim, it's going to be 40 yards left, I think. $2,600 spin. It's a good one. This thing's a fairway machine. 4 up. So that was pretty good. 2,600 spin. That was smoked. That might be the best one I hit all day. 2,700 spin. See, if I'm playing that at 8 degrees like I normally do, I think that's about 2,300 spin. But you know what they say, spin is your friend when it comes to dispersion. That was smoked too. How's the sim gonna beat this? I came into this test wanting to prove that the older clubs are just as good. I don't think it's gonna be possible. I think it might hit it farther, but I don't think it'll be nearly as consistent with the fairways. That's a perfect ball right there. All right, I think I might have messed up. We got 18 shots, but one of my Bandicams, which is my screen recorders, wasn't recording. I think it was this one. So you might just have to see the shots for those first 18 on this screen, and it won't be the zoomed in computer screen. But now we got it going. We got 2 more. And then we're gonna move on to the sim. Another good one. That one might have been a tad heavy, but it took the spin off of it down to 1900 and it went straight. Ball speed was down, so yeah, that was a little bit of a drop kick. All right, last one. Then we'll go to the sim. Bailed. Missed the last fairway. What a bummer. 4,000 spin. That one's just terrible. All right, I think we hit a good amount of fairways with this thing again. So we'll add up the numbers, see where we're at. Then we'll move on to the sim. All right, we're on to the sim here. So this thing, extra stiff shaft, 75 grams, so that's the same. It's a Fujikura something, I don't know. Vista Pro? Yeah, Vista Pro. So 20 shots here. Definitely a different looking driver. The face looks a lot shallower. And let's see if this thing hits rockets like I remember it doing. Not bad. Not great, but not bad. What was that? A little bit in the heel. Still spinny. 3,000. That was off the toe. See, look at that thing go. I hit a bunch of balls like that with the other one, and it didn't go nearly that far left. That's what I remember. Definitely sounds different too. Well, that was hit good. Still 2,800 spin though. Huh. Didn't even go across the 300 mark. Maybe that wasn't hit that good. It was right in the center. A little bit of a toe kick, but still pretty good. There it goes, going left harder though. TaylorMade was not, or Titleist was not snapping like that. Spin went down to 1,400. That's the one that scares me. Just a little shut face. Or a pretty extremely shut face. Looking at it up there on the screen. Spin was gone. All right, let's hit some fairways. There we go. 1,700 spin. That's gonna go far. So that's probably our longest drive of the day. When you 169 ball speed, spin dropped to 1785. That's why it rolled out so far. But everything else was good. So like I said, I remember this thing. When you hit it good, it goes far. That was low on the face. Got away with it though. Not bad. 2,800 spin off low heel. That's nice. I think for sure the GT2 would have went shorter on that strike. And it doesn't seem to be quite as wild as I remember. Ooh, that one's far. What's that spin at? 21? Pretty good. Uh-oh. Might have an eBay special going on here. The ferrule just came up. Still looks like it's fine, minus the ferrule. So yeah, that was a good one. I think this will definitely be a closer race than the Big Bertha. Lost that one right. Face was square. What happened? 172 ball speed. I don't know. What was the path? Out to in only 1.5. That doesn't make a lot of sense. That one should have been on the fairway at least. Another good one. Stay in the fairway. There we go. Yeah, this thing's a bomber. 2,500 spin. Perfect spin. 171 ball speed. Swallowed some chew. Another good one. This thing's nice. So we might be getting into that debate here about, is it really worth it to pay more money? That's 11. Now in fairness, it should go farther. It's a less forgiving low spin model. Question is, how much farther is it going? And what's our fairway count? I have no idea. You guys will know because it's on the screen. See that ball right there? Didn't deserve to go that far right. It's a pretty good strike. That I don't like. Face was only, oh, it was 3 degrees open. Okay. Now we're just missing it a little right. A little late. Open face again. 3 again. I don't hate it though. Good numbers minus that. Just gotta close the face down a little bit. There we go. Oh, bomb. We got a contender here. .300 carry. At least on that was it 280. Oh, it was only 286 on there. Another good one. I don't mind missing on that right side. So that's kind of like that one with the Titleist. It's hard to tell, but I'm calling that a fairway. What's the spin? 2000. That I like. Ah, that was a bad one. Low toe. Still had a lot of ball speed. 16. All right, that was number 16. We got 4 more, which is good because I feel like my back's breaking. Low on the face. How'd we do? 3,000 spin. Not bad. Got away with it. Can feel the back fatigue setting in, that's for sure. How we swing it? Still 115. All right, we got 3 more hard swings in us. Then I'm going to go ice up. That was way off the toe. That's that snapper. That's the ball I hate to see. Aiming down the right side and hit that one will piss you off. Not as much as if you were aiming down the left side, I guess. There's a good one. 2,700 spin. Yep, I was on my back foot. It's a fairway. What was that, 2 more? That's how dumb I am. That's how quickly my brain forgets things. Ah. Fell back. Not bad. How many is that? Is that 19 or 20? 20. All right. So now what we'll do, I'll obviously tally up all the numbers. You've already seen that on the screen as far as the fairway goes. I will keep all of my shots that are within 30 yards of the center line in here for the data. And then after that, I will take the best 6 total for each driver and see where we're at. So yeah, let's go through the numbers. I think this is definitely much closer than the Big Bertha that we hit last week. Just like I remember, this thing's good. Still is, even though it's 5 years old. Except for this ferrule. That came up. All right, here we go. Here we go with the final numbers here. So yeah, as I suspected, the sim driver is a bomber. Just like I remember. So the total carry, so these were, just so you guys know, this first chart, this is all the shots that were in the fairway. I'll show another chart after this that were the best 6 for each one, but these were all the balls that were hitting the fairway. So 279 carry for the sim, 274 for the Titleist. Ball speeds were pretty much exactly the same. The Titleist, or the sim, was actually a little more online right here, but also the Titleist had a lot more in the fairway, so that's probably not a good number to look at. The smash factor was actually 0.01 less for the sim, and it was still going farther, but the reason is because right here, the Titleist average spin was 2,900, which is way too high. And that's why I played this at the 8-degree setting. I got the chart from the first video when we compared the Big Bertha, and I was playing them both at 8.25. Right next to me, you guys can't see it, but my spin on that with the Titleist was 2385. So that would definitely make it carry probably a little farther and definitely roll out farther. Club speed, I was swinging them both pretty much exactly the same, about 115. Descent angle, very similar. Apex, the Titleist was going, 14 feet higher. And total distance with rollout over here, the sim was going 7 yards, 7 yards farther. So it's a bomber. Obviously, with the fairways that you guys saw in the video, the Titleist is the more forgiving driver, and it proves to be. But if you're pretty good with driver and you can hit it in the center of the face pretty often, I mean, you can't go wrong with this thing. And the price you can get it for these days, it's still just as good as anything out there as far as the low spin stuff. So next we'll see the chart with the best 6 from each. Here's the best 6 out of each driver out of the 20. So I based that off of dispersion. So I took any ones that were, even farther left or right out, even though they were still in the fairway. But mainly I based it off of ball speed and smash factor. And also I was looking on the chart through each one to see where the impact on the club was. So these were also most of the most center strike ones. So as you can see here, the carry still is about 4 yards farther for the sim. The ball speed's a mile an hour faster. The smash factor is 0.01. The spin's 300 less. So my Titleist did drop down to 27 with the best 6, 2,700 with the best 6, but that's still about probably 300 over where I'd love it. Dynamic loft, same. Club speed, this is a really good comparison because it's literally, I was swinging them the exact same speed, 115.6. So when you swing at the same speed and you hit it in the good spot of the face, the sim goes farther for sure. Total distance of 5 yards farther over here. So yeah, this sim, it's a bomber. It's definitely more controllable than the Callaway Big Bertha Alpha that we tested last week from 2015. So from that 2015 window to this 2020 window, that 5 years, I mean, they definitely made a lot of improvements. And then when it comes from 2020 to 2025, so these two versus each other, they're not apples to apples just because, the Titleist is the GT2 model. It would probably be very similar numbers with the GT3. So I'm willing to give up a little distance, 4 yards carry, 5 yards total, to hit more fairways. Obviously, I think I hit 5 more fairways out of 20 with the Titleist. But if you're a good player, you want to just hit it far with pretty low spin and and you can make good contact with the center of the face, the SIM is still a great option from 5 years ago, where you could probably get it from 150 to 200 bucks with like an upgraded shaft in it. So if you're a younger golfer, just getting started working and don't have much budget, or you want to max out your equipment, I would definitely go a route like this and buy something that's older, because they are, in my opinion, just as good. And I was actually very surprised, because when I played the sim, back in 2020, 2021, I was definitely not as good as I am now. And I'm not saying I'm good now, but I was probably around a 10 handicap back then. And it was hard for me to control, but I think I could do a lot better job controlling it these days. But still, like I said, if I can hit 5 more fairways out of 20 with the Titleist, I'm sticking with that. But I'm definitely going to keep this sim, and I'm going to keep messing around with it. I'll probably throw a couple different shafts in there, maybe this shaft that I actually play, and see what we get there. So yeah, good test. Next week's the finale of this series. We're going to go with the Callaway Rogue from, I think, 2023, the low spin model. I love that driver too. USPS finally did drop it off. It only took about 10 days longer than they said it was going to, but hey, we got it. That's all that matters. And we'll see you next week and finish this thing off. Thanks for watching.